everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and today I wanted to do a quick video to share my strategy for keeping the cats and other animals from destroying my garden. It's a huge subject, and I'm going to focus primarily on creatures like my cats who like to sometimes use this as their litter box or are digging in search of moles and voles, but they can be super destructive, particularly with my approach to direct seeding. These tender seedlings don't really benefit from cats digging everything up. So let me show you some of my creative solutions for it. Maybe they'll work for you. So I have 3 kitties. You just saw Sophia. Here is Cubby, and over here is Ava Grace. And I've been blaming the deer for eating my wheat and barley clumps, but I have just been watching the cats nibble on these clumps of wheat. So it might not be just the deer that are actually causing mammal browse in my garden. It might be these freeloaders who also get Fancy Feast twice a day. You know, I love my cats, like irrationally, but they are definitely garden munchers. This little one, she just jumps all over the place to eat at barley. I think she thinks that's why I grow it. I was just wondering why there was like a little donut hole, and now you know why. That there's a little cat that jumps into this pot of barley. It doesn't look like she nibbles out of this a lot, and it doesn't look eaten down like the other side of the yard. So I bet that is deer, and this is just kitten damage. So I know that I've been having deer because I've been finding, little piles of pellets. And I was just walking by this bed where, of course, Cubby is positioned. And I was trying to figure out, are these deer prints or are these cat prints? Let's take a further examination. Okay, so the prints in question are kind of like this divot here. There's another one there. There's one. They look like, this one in particular looks like a hoof. I am gonna say this is from deer walking through here. But it's always possible that a different 4-legged creature is walking through causing chaos. It's like Ava Grace is our guide for this video. Now, where I've definitely seen damage that I know is from deer is right in here. And you can see where they've eaten the violas right off, like they've just nibbled that head completely. In fact, this plug was ripped out. I replanted it. That was what alerted me. Generally, the cats might dig plants out, like when they're trying to find a mole, which there's literally a mole tunnel right here that they've been digging at. But the cats don't eat pansies or violas. So this is for sure deer. Even with garlic right next to it, they ate the violas right up in the mix of it. So that's not great. But for sure the worst area of damage that I have right now is out here in the front wave where it's planted with barley, and the barley has been getting eaten constantly. And I'm seeing a lot of footprints right there, a whole lot of footprints over here. I just don't think that the cats walk like that. I think this is deer. I think it's deer. Just, it looks like a hoof. And they are just nibbling down the barley. I'll tell you, I've not had this problem in the past, so I guess they got the memo. And now it's time to take action, because I've been talking about this problem for a few weeks, and I've done the thing that so many people do. I have not gone to the shed and actually applied the repellent. The repellent does not work unless you actually use it. So it's time to get in there and get busy being more proactive about preventing these animals from eating. Okay, I just hit the mother lode. This is for sure deer. You can really see the hooves. So they're walking right through my front garden. Literally right there's the front door. And they're eating this self-sown barley in here. I just left a few clumps. Look at what they've done. I don't really care about the barley in here, and all the flowering things they don't eat. So I'm not really worried, but you can really see just how they've walked right through. And it's really obvious in this loose soil. Those are definitely hooves. And that means these kitties who have been keeping me up all night going in and out are not deterring the deer at all, which I guess isn't that big of a surprise. So welcome to my shed. Let's see what kind of animal repellents I can uncover in here where I keep all of my practical supplies. Well, I already see some awesome things. Let me turn this around. Okay, here we have two fantastic products that I know work. Imus Garden Deer Repellent. This is the spice scent. I also have Imus Garden Mint Scent. And this is what I am going to use. You can see this is people, pet, and plant safe. And this is my favorite repellent company. I'm also going to use the mole and vole repellent. So that might help reduce some of the digging from my cats. Now, I don't have any cat repellent right now. Imus Garden sells that. So let me show you a different option for deterring the cats. All right, I've been doing this for years. I know it's sort of ugly and lazy, but it does work. You see, I've just put short pieces of cattle fence panel. I was using these to keep my neighbor's dogs out, but now I don't have neighbor dogs. I just have cats that are destructive. So I just lay these down on the ground. They're not attached or anything. The cats, it's not that they won't walk through here, they won't dig with this laying here. It really is that simple. You could also use chicken wire. I just don't have any chicken wire. I'm gonna get another probably panel to put in over there, and that will act as sort of the security for these very freshly germinated poppies that I really want to be successful. And I don't want my cats to dig this bed up and destroy what will be an absolutely spectacular spring show. I think it's important to note that sometimes the easiest and most effective solution doesn't actually have to be very complicated or difficult. Case in point, can't wait to share updates with you on this during my weekly garden tours, because I've been doing this for years and I 100% know that this will really help reduce the cat action in this section of the garden. Now, one of the benefits of having cats is that they alert you to where in-ground mammals like voles and moles are, because they're out here digging. So that tells me exactly where I need to apply this mole and vole repellent. Again, this is from Imus Garden, and I'm just gonna sort of vigorously scatter it all around. And this in the long run will help significantly in getting these in-ground mammals to just sort of run somewhere else. That's the whole point of repellent. All right, so Aiden is here and he just mixed up some Imus Garden Deer Repellent. This is the mint scent. And we didn't have a normal big sprayer, so he's gonna use this one, which is actually a really great handheld. And it's really convenient to keep these small sprayers, you know, like close to the door that you exit from, so you can grab it and spray on a regular basis anytime you see damage. So Aiden, you can see the barley has been eaten, and he's just gonna go ahead and treat this whole wave and all the other grain clumps with this concoction. And I know from experience that I Must Garden works really well. Well, I hope that this video will be helpful for you, at least in recognizing that you are not an island. All of us are dealing with animal browse in one way or another, whether it's from our pets or from, things like deer and rabbits and groundhogs. And there are some really simple solutions, and you should check out my 4-part webinar over on Aster Community, where I go through all of the ideas that I kind of implement, from planting strategies to different approaches with repellents and fencing. So you should check that out if you want more details on deterring animals. And thanks so much for watching, everybody. Best of luck in your garden, keeping all of these critters from eating everything that you're growing.